I want to share something with you today, and it's a little preview of what's going to be happening next week. Some of your parents, when they came to open house this year, I was talking to them about the possibility of this grant that I had applied for through EdExplore, and it was for an artist to come to our classroom, and she's going to guide us on a project on Scale, and we've been working on Scale for the past couple weeks. And what I want to share with you a little bit before she comes next week is what that project is going to entail, what your role is, what my role is, and what her role is. So the name of the project is Geometry, Who Knew I'd Need This Stuff? And you'll notice in this little diagram, which I put up on my website too, you can access these documents I'm going to talk about. You'll notice some real architectural tools here. You'll notice in the background there are some blueprints. So we're going to take everything that we've learned about Scale, and now we're going to apply it for real. It actually happened, we were invited through the Community Foundation last year to an open EdExplore event. All teachers in the county were invited, and it was, I remember, a super rainy night, and I was like, do I really want to go? And I went, and it was excellent. There were many exhibits. There were about 20 exhibits, and you just kind of walked around and you talked to the different people, and you looked for connections. What could connect to my curriculum? And being a math teacher of middle schoolers, I mean, my focus was pretty narrow. I passed by a lot of exhibits, but I took down this particular artist's name and, kind of just tucked it in the back. And then when I was really studying the new standards over the summer, I was like, wow, this would be a perfect fit for where we need to bring our students. So she will come in, and on the first day, we'll probably just do some math and get our juices flowing as far as using proportions, finding some areas, some dimensions. And then the next day, all around the room will actually be posted blueprints, actual blueprints. How many of you have ever used a blueprint, seen a blueprint? Raise your hand if you've ever, prior to this, really seen an actual blueprint. All right, working in a team, just like you would in the real world, each of you with a very structured role will have project managers, architects, artists, and educators and writers, and you'll work collaboratively to construct a Scale model.
So when I say, what is the area of a room 20 feet by 30 feet, you would respond 600 square feet, right? So take a look at this one. Why don't you each grab a pen? Well, thanks to the Patterson Foundation, a website was started, edexplore.com, and they also provided funding so teachers can go to this and choose what we call explorations. In order to get my explorations on there, I designed them. The lesson plans were vetted and approved, and then posted on the website for teachers' use. Tell me how you would go ahead and do this one. This isn't a perfect rectangle.
It's actually quite easy. You would just you would make find the volume of area of here, which is 4 times 3. Add 4. Plus 6, and then plus 2. Then you would get 12. So 12. Then 12 feet by 14.
We started the process, about a week of just getting some background information, working on Scale, working on proportion, getting some foundational skills going. And I don't know that they were truly ready for what they experienced. It was rigorous, it was structured. They were actually taking everything that they had learned and applying it. So really hands-on when you're thinking about the fact that they were measuring with professional tools, and they were, with assistance, of course, cutting their models out, constructing their models, and then having to apply the math to get everything to scale.
Okay, so this is an architectural plan from a project I worked on for Whole Foods Markets. And you can see that we have a lot of information in the lower right-hand corner. It tells us what the location was. So this was Naples, Florida. We teach things from a different point of view, so we can really flesh out, we can really embellish what you are already doing in the classroom. So for teachers, it's a great tool. So over here it will tell us what is the scale of this plan. And why don't we measure the cafe over here? So you want to line 0 up. Absolutely love working with the kids. I've worked a lot with middle school children. I find them to be creative, inventive, hardworking, And most of the subjects I have created have been for middle school. Not only this geometry one, which by the way is called Geometry, who knew I'd need this stuff? Because all the years I've spent as an artist and designer, I've realized how much I use math in the process. Let's take this measurement, which I've already measured. It's 7.5 inches. I know first you had a sheet where you had to do all the calculations. So what was your assignment? What size was this room supposed to be?
Yeah, it was really fun. We got to make scale model of a kindergarten exhibit to teach them the basics of shapes and differentiate between 3D and 2D shapes.
1/2 inch equals 1 foot. So I know we did this whole process where you had to then draw all this out on a sheet of foam core.
Well, it was just very interesting to get to build a model like with my group because we were all really good friends, so we were all able to compromise really well.
Hi, my name's Gemma Adams. I'm the project manager, and our group name is the Construction Chicks. This is Dara Dombrowski, the writer and artist, and this is Kaylin Lepak, the architect.
I find it really cool that we could cooperate and learn life skills that we don't actually learn every day. And it was just cool to make a scale model and use math skills in everyday life in preparing us for the future.
This is the project. It is Geometry is Cool, and it is dimensions are 56 by 20 and by 48.
I chose this particular exhibition because of the percentage of our coming assessments that are going to be based on scale and proportion, and also on students' ability to have proportional reasoning. So basically just looking at the standards and realizing how heavily weighted those skills are for their end-of-year assessment. And the fact that with 7th graders, there's a big emphasis now with the new standards on modeling and them being able to really have an understanding of what things truly look like, not just in a textbook.
This is a little rug for them to, play on. There's a triangle and circle and rectangle. This is a cylinder tunnel for them to crawl through.
What's hiding in there?
There's just, the colorful.
Some sensory things.
It was really enjoyable. It was much different from all the other assignments we've done in math, definitely more hands-on and interactive.
All right, and we chose to use bright colors because it makes it less boring for the kids to be in the room doing math and stuff. We have magnetic things, as she said, that they can place onto the car to match up the shapes.
Yeah, it was very hard, but my whole team helped each other to get it done, and it was really fun.
And the name of our exhibit is Shaping the World.
The purpose of this exhibit is to teach kindergarteners how to differentiate the difference between 2D and 3D shapes.
Right now there are a number of professional groups in town, museums and Selby Gardens and so forth, who are on at Explore, but now there are probably about 25 or 30 teaching artists, including writers, musicians, storytellers, and so forth, in addition to visual artists. So we see this as a great opportunity to really spread the word, to get a lot more going in the classroom, and to collaborate with the teachers.
And then all over the walls, there's the circle wall, the square wall, and the triangle wall. So it has pictures of different things in the real world.
It was very interesting. It kind of opened up like a whole new perspective of like jobs for me, because I really thought that building a model and becoming an artist would be something I really wanted to do, maybe.
Well, yes, there could be a stool, or we could possibly move it down so they could reach it easier.
The instructor would put up the marble, like they would be instructing them to put them. Well, it's really amazing because not many kids are able to do this, so the opportunity is really just wonderful, because this is giving lots of kids to see, I might want to do this in the future, so that would just be awesome.
For example, we're going to have an instructor, somebody here, telling the children a sequence of shapes, and then they have to match the shapes to be able to get into the exhibit.
Absolutely. I just think it's amazing. It's a wonderful resource that we have at our fingertips. And to think that I could provide such an experience for my students. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think if a teacher really looks at their standards, kind of sifts through and says, where would something very hands-on be beneficial, they'd probably find somebody to meet their needs.
I like that one. I like that one.
That's really cool how they use it to play.
Okay, and come look at the next group. Okay, really looking at all of them from all angles.
What is the point of this? Like, well, I'm gonna get through these shapes and stab.
Okay, rotate to the next table. Look at this one with the furniture. He took his 3D printer, measured his couch at home, and then scaled it all down to the 3/8 scale so that it would fit in there exactly. Isn't that awesome?